There comes a moment in every person's life when they finally realize something painful. The people they sacrificed for, the people they defended, the people they stayed loyal to, never truly respected them. Not because you lacked value, but because you taught people that access to you required no effort. And the harsh truth is this: the more you beg for respect, the less people see you as worthy of it. Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And if your mind constantly seeks validation from fake friends, manipulative people, and emotional parasites, eventually, your peace becomes dependent on their approval. That is slavery. Today, we are going to talk about why Stoics never beg for respect, and why cutting fake friends off without guilt is one of the highest forms of self-respect. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away without explaining yourself. Section 1. Why fake friends keep you around. Fake friends rarely love you for who you are. They love access. Access to your energy, your loyalty, your forgiveness, your emotional labor. As long as you keep giving, they stay close. But the moment you develop boundaries, they begin calling you selfish, cold, arrogant, or distant. Why? Because weak people become angry when they lose control over someone they took for granted. Stoicism teaches something dangerous to manipulators. You are not responsible for carrying emotionally immature people through life. And yet many people spend years trapped in one-sided friendships because they fear being disliked. They tolerate disrespect to avoid loneliness. They answer every message instantly. They apologize when they did nothing wrong. They over-explain themselves constantly. And slowly, their identity dissolves. Epictetus warned that if you want to improve, you must be willing to look foolish in the eyes of others. That includes disappointing fake friends. Because the moment you stop entertaining disrespect, you expose who truly valued you and who only valued your usefulness. And many people will vanish the second they realize they can no longer manipulate your kindness. Good, let them vanish. The trash always removes itself when the door closes. Section 2. Stoics never chase respect. Respect begged for is respect already lost. Read that again. A Stoic does not chase validation because their worth does not come from public approval. It comes from inner discipline. This is why emotionally detached people intimidate toxic personalities, because they cannot be controlled through guilt. When you stop needing constant reassurance, you become dangerous to manipulative people. Notice how narcissistic personalities react when ignored. They become restless, obsessed, provocative. Why? Because silence removes their power. Your reaction was their supply. And once you stop reacting emotionally, they are forced to confront the emptiness within themselves. That is why silence feels like revenge to toxic people. Not because you attacked them, but because your absence reminds them they were never truly in control. Seneca believed that the greatest form of revenge is refusing to become like your enemy. That means no dramatic speeches, no emotional breakdowns, no desperate attempts to prove your value. Just distance, cold, calm, final. The strongest goodbye is often silent. Section 3. Why cutting people off feels guilty. Many good-hearted people struggle to cut others off, not because they are weak, but because they were conditioned to feel responsible for everyone's emotions. Toxic friendships survive through guilt. The manipulator makes you feel cruel for protecting yourself. They say, "You changed. You think you're better now. You abandoned me." But pay attention carefully. Healthy people respect boundaries. Toxic people punish them. That difference changes everything. Stoicism teaches us that peace is expensive, and the price is often losing access to people who benefited from your lack of boundaries. You must understand, not everyone deserves unlimited access to your mind, time, and emotional energy. Some people enter your life only to drain it, and the longer you ignore red flags, the more betrayal begins to feel normal. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that difficult people exist everywhere. But he also understood something deeper. You do not have to emotionally attach yourself to their dysfunction. You can acknowledge someone's nature without allowing it into your soul. That is emotional mastery. And sometimes mastery looks like leaving quietly, without anger, without revenge, without needing closure. Because closure is often just another conversation with someone committed to misunderstanding you. Section 4. The power of emotional detachment. Detachment is not cruelty. Detachment is clarity. It is the realization that constantly rescuing toxic people destroys your own inner stability. Many people confuse kindness with self-sacrifice, but Stoicism never taught self-destruction. A Stoic can love deeply while still walking away from chaos. That is strength. Weak people become addicted to emotional drama because chaos distracts them from themselves. But disciplined people protect their peace ruthlessly. And this is where your transformation begins. The moment you stop chasing approval, your entire energy changes. You speak less, you explain less, you tolerate less, and strangely, people begin respecting you more, because humans instinctively value what cannot be emotionally controlled. This is why silence unsettles fake friends. Your detachment forces them to sit alone with the consequences of their behavior. No argument, no shouting, no revenge, just absence. And absence is a mirror most people cannot survive staring into. Section 5. The Stoic Final Lesson. At some point in life, you must choose. Will you continue shrinking yourself to keep fake people comfortable? Or will you protect your peace even if it disappoints others? Because not everyone deserves your loyalty. And loyalty without discernment becomes self-betrayal. The Stoic path is lonely sometimes. Not because Stoics hate people, but because they refuse to abandon themselves for acceptance. You were not born to beg for basic respect. You were not born to tolerate manipulation disguised as friendship. And you were not born to carry people who would never carry you. So let them misunderstand you. Let them gossip. Let them call you cold. A lion does not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. In the end, fake friends fear one thing most: the moment you finally realize your worth. Because once that happens, their control disappears forever. And that is when your real life begins. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to Stoic Star Mind for more dark Stoic wisdom on toxic people, emotional mastery, and silent power. Remember, not everyone who loses access to you lost something valuable. Sometimes they lost their source of control.